Do you consider yourself a black man?
I mean, I'm considered a black man, just like you're considered a black woman,
Right.
but we're just
You
Americans.
said don't call me black no
If we
more.
go to Africa right now, what they gonna call us? Americans.
Black Americans.
They're gonna call us Americans,
And so are you,
and they do call us Americans when they're here. They call us Americans. Now they call us certain things because we want to be called them. We're like, call
like
me black.
brother?
They want to call you black because they want you, because they think you want to be called black, because you're just talking about Black Lives Matter and I'm black and I'm proud, and of course they watching you and they're like, hey, that's a black person. But when they're talking amongst themselves, and I've heard these people, I've heard their conversations in Mexico and different people, they call us Americans no matter where we go. If we go to China, they call us Americans. It could be me and you standing with two other people we call white here, and they call us all Americans. You can call yourself Irish all you want.
Are you okay? So
But I'm gonna tell you now, you go to Ireland, they're gonna call you American. You don't fit in their culture. You're not a part of their
you're
neighborhood.
talking about Irish Americans.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but what is the advantage of erasing the term black and just calling us Americans? Why are you calling for that?
Because it brings us to appreciate us as an ethnicity instead of just as a it takes away the divide, the thing that we think is so different about us. You go to Puerto Rico, people are all kinds of colors, blue-eyed, blonde hair, look like me, look like you, look like Miles. They look like everybody. They look like Cameron Diaz there. They look like everybody there. And but they call themselves with impunity, I am a Puerto Rican.
Let me back up. At the beginning, I said we have to know the difference between race, ethnicity, nationality, culture,
Okay.
religion, right?
Right.
So, and in your song, or I don't know if it's in the song or on TikTok, you say that American is an ethnicity.
It's our ethnicity. Yeah. It's a
To
new
me,
ethnicity.
ethnicity is where are your people from?
This is our new ethnicity. Ethnicity, if you look up the word ethnicity, what comes back is beliefs. Sometimes nationality. Sometimes
Nationality is what your
behavior.
passport says.
Well,
Ethnicity is where your people are from.
No. That's descendants.
Same thing.
No, it's not the same thing. Ethnicity and descendants is different. They're different words. They mean different things. We are African descendants, but we are not Africans. We are Americans.
This was a good video to do. This is a good video to go over because he's speaking on everything that I speak on, just with a different lens. Now, he's a rapper, he's an entertainer, so he's gonna have a lot more eyeballs on him than I do, but I just want to hit on a couple points that he brought up. Welcome back to the Social Grade School. My name is Asa Taylor. I'm gonna be your host. One of the things I did want to go over in particular is I just noticed that people don't travel. Now, as someone who's been blessed with the ability to go to 2-3 different countries, 30 different states, I see everything. I see how the people operate. I see how states and local cities operate. And I also see how people from overseas operate. And he's 100% right. I'm going to play a little bit more of this video and then we're just going to stop it for some commentary. Fair use, by the way.
Black man?
I mean, I'm considered a black man, just like you're considered a black woman.
Right.
But we're just Americans.
You said don't call me black no
If
more.
we go to Africa right now, what they gonna call us? Americans.
And he's 100% right. If you know any Africans, if you know anybody from that region of the world, yes, we may look like them, but we're just ancestors. We are not Africans. And see, the misconception that people have is that they could just go over to Africa right now and we're just immediately going to be accepted. That's not true at all, because they look at us just like a big dollar sign, like we just have money, just like everybody looks at Americans, because people perceive us to have money. Now, in our world, if we made $30,000 to $50,000, we're poor. In their world, we're rich. So technically speaking, American money, American values, how we operate in the world goes far and above everybody else's standard of living, which is why they look at us this way. They're not just gonna willingly accept us like, all right, bro, like, you know, come into my culture. No, they have tribes, they have a culture, they have something that but we haven't been a part of that culture for a very long time, which means that they have no obligation to accept us, which means in effect, all we are is just outsiders or a dollar sign, which can be dangerous. There's this video that popped up not too long ago of this lady who actually went to Uganda or South Africa or something like that. And she was begging and pleading for her to come back. She was like, I'm going to open my businesses back in America. I'll take that prejudice over this prejudice over here. And if I can find it, I'll put it up on the screen. But it just goes to show that things are extremely different. And I mean extremely different when you travel outside of America. And a lot of people take America for granted because, again, like I've said before, if you don't like America, just go somewhere else. But part of elevating our conversation is getting out and traveling. Part of elevating our conversation and elevating our mind is understanding how different cultures work and how they operate and how they do things in the world. Let's get some more. There was another point I wanted to hit on.
Black Americans.
They're going to call us Americans.
And so are you...
And they do call us Americans. When they're here, they call us Americans. Now, they call us certain things because we want to be called them. We're like, call me black.
Brother.
They want to call you black because they want you, because they think you want to be called black because you're just talking about Black Lives Matter and I'm black and I'm proud. And of course, they watching you and they're like, hey, that's a black person. But when they're talking amongst themselves, and I've heard these people, I've heard their conversations in Mexico and different people, they call us Americans no matter where we go. If we go to
Americans, gringos, outsider, if you go to Japan, they'll call you a certain... You're not even allowed to do certain things in Japan as an American because you don't speak the Japanese language. Same thing in Mexico. You'll be shielded from the real value, or you're going to be charged up the ass because they know you're American and they know you have money. And again, this just goes to show the ignorance of the person who's actually producing this type of content, because you can tell that she's in travel. You can tell that she's stuck in her ways. You can tell that she supports BLM and all these things, and she has an identity around that. When everybody's identity should be independent, we look at it as, okay, well, I belong to this group. I have to support this group. I do think Black Lives Matter, which is not necessarily wrong, but you get wrapped up into that with this divide and conquer thing, not necessarily understanding that we are American. And this is the part of elevating your mind that I was talking about earlier, because when you look at us from a holistic point of view, you can understand vehemently why other people from other races and different ethnicities call us American and American only. They don't necessarily look at us like all these different races and cultures and stuff like that. Now, we have American culture, yes, but they're just looking at us like American, okay? Now, there's another part I wanted to hit on. Ethnicity. The actual definition of ethnicity is the social group a person belongs to, either identifies with or identified with by others as a result of a mix of culture and other factors, including language, diet, religion, ancestry, physical features traditionally associated with race. But it's traditionally associated with race, but it's not. So it could be a plethora of different things, and that's the part I wanted to comment on for you guys as well. So there's a couple other things that I wanted to point out for you, so let's get to that.
In China, they call us Americans. It could be me and you standing with two other people we call white here, and they call us all Americans. You can call yourself Irish all you want.
Are you okay? So
but I'm gonna tell you now, you go to Ireland, they're gonna call you American. You don't fit in their culture. You're not a part of their neighborhood.
You're talking about Irish American.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but what is the advantage of erasing the term black and just calling us Americans? Why are you calling?
And see, this is, again, I gotta stop her because, it's not necessarily an advantage. It's just bringing us all together because, again, everyone looks at us like we're American. We here in America only look at us like we're separated by race, creed, color, skin, and all that different kind of stuff. But when people come over here, or people are looking at us in the lens of Russian or Mexican or Japanese or Chinese, they're just looking at us like we are American, because that's exactly what they are, because that's how they are considering themselves to be. That's how everyone in the world considers themselves to be. We are the only person and the only nation in the world. Yes, we're American, but we're separated by our circumstances, our skin, all that good stuff. Now, am I saying that racism doesn't happen overseas? Probably it does, but to be on a scale like America, to where it's constantly being used as a pogo stick to where people can lean on and throw it in your face and they're rewarded. No, it's not like that over there. It's not like that at all. In school, kids bully each other, and this is what kids do. But outside of that, it's not really that big of a concern. And again, it just goes back to the presenter or the host of the radio show not necessarily being able to travel, not necessarily knowing what goes on in the world, because if she did know what's going on in the world, if she did travel, then she would know what people thought of us. Or maybe she just doesn't have enough conversations to make that distinction. But this is where I come in. This is where I got to correct her. And this rapper, Jay French, this is where he's correcting her as well, because she's woefully ignorant. And maybe she just doesn't know, or maybe she has a different agenda in mind. I don't know. Okay, so let's get some more.
Calling for that.
Because it brings us to appreciate us as an ethnicity instead of just as a it takes away the divide, the thing that we think is so different about us. You go to Puerto Rico, people are all kinds of
Man, he's so right. I mean, this is and I gotta pause it for fair use purposes, but he's so true. And this is why I don't give a fuck about your problems. I really don't. Like, you motherfuckers want to be independent. You guys want to just claim to be, oh, we're superior, we have it harder. I don't give a flying fuck. If you're homeless, no one gives a fuck about you. If you have issues, no one gives a fuck about you. That's just simple. It's just what it is. That's just life in and of itself. You can't do anything to change that. When I was homeless, no one was coming around me to rescue me. Only a couple people were supporting me. Here, sleep right here. Here's a car that you can sleep in. Here's a sleeping bag. Only a couple people. So why the fuck would you think that I would give a fuck about your circumstances? I don't. There's only one thing I care about, which is green, and that's the money. Hey, listen, that's going to be it for today, guys. I got another video that's going to be dropping later on today. What you guys think about the content? Do you guys agree with me? Am I off somehow? Or do we still need to reverse our maturing process and go back to talking about this racism and bullshit like that? Let me know down in the comment section below. And while you're there, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We'll be pushing out more videos like this. I'll see you later, and I love you and I appreciate you. Peace.